All right, let's dive into something absolutely huge, the British Empire. I mean, for centuries, this was the single most powerful force on the entire planet. And its story, how it grew, the influence it had, and how it faded away, still shapes our world in ways you might not even realize.
So let's just start with this number, because it's kind of mind-blowing. 25%. At its absolute peak, the British Empire ruled over a quarter of all people on Earth. Just let that sink in. A scale that is almost impossible to wrap your head around.
So, how are we going to tackle a topic this big? Well, here's our game plan. We'll start at the top, with the empire at its peak. Then we'll dig into what drove its growth, check out the lasting footprint it left, see how it all started to unravel, and finally, try to make sense of its incredibly complicated legacy.
Okay, so you've probably heard that famous saying, the sun never sets on the British Empire. That wasn't just some catchy slogan, you know. It was literally true, and it tells you everything about its incredible, globe-spanning reach.
I mean, just picture it. From the massive stretches of Canada and Australia to the entire Indian subcontinent, huge parts of Africa, and even tiny little islands in the middle of the Pacific, somewhere, at any given moment, the sun was shining on British territory. It was, without a doubt, the largest empire in all of human history.
So the big question is, how? How on earth did a relatively small island nation pull this off? What were the real engines driving this massive, centuries-long expansion? Let's get into the how and the why.
Well, for one thing, it wasn't built overnight. It really grew in waves. The first big push was into the Americas. But after the American Revolution, the empire made a huge pivot towards Asia, and India became, as they called it, the jewel in the crown. Then the 19th century brought the chaotic scramble for Africa, and the empire hit its absolute largest size right after World War I, when it took over former Ottoman lands in the Middle East.
And the reasons for all this? Oh man, it was a mix of everything. It wasn't just one thing. A huge part was economic, for sure. You know, finding new places to sell goods and getting crucial raw materials, like cotton from India for the factories back in Britain. But it was also strategic, controlling the world's shipping lanes with a network of naval bases. And yeah, politics and pride played a big role, keeping up with rivals like France. And then there was this powerful, controversial idea of a civilizing mission, this belief that they were spreading superior British values around the globe.
So that incredible expansion left a massive footprint. But we're not just talking about lines drawn on a map. The empire exported entire systems, how to make laws, the language people speak, ways of governing that are still fundamental to our world today.
Let's start with one of the biggest ones, common law. The easiest way to think about it is this. Instead of having one big, rigid rule book, the law evolves over time, shaped by the decisions of judges in actual cases. It's more of a living, breathing thing, and it's the foundation of the legal system in tons of countries today.
And the impact of that is just wild. Look at this. More than a third of all people in the world live in countries where the legal system is based on English common law. That's a direct, incredibly long-lasting legacy that shapes everyday life from Canada to Australia to India.
And then, of course, there's the language. The language I'm speaking right now, the sheer administrative and business needs of a global empire helped make English a world language. Today, it's pretty much the default for international business, science, air traffic control, you name it. Another legacy with just massive global consequences.
The most direct descendant of the empire is what we now call the Commonwealth. It's basically a voluntary club of independent countries, most of which used to be British territories. They share those historical ties, and it acts as a network for them to cooperate on everything from trade to human rights.
But, as we all know, no empire lasts forever, and in the 20th century, a whole bunch of powerful new forces came onto the scene that would, in just a couple of decades, cause the whole thing to unravel pretty quickly.
So what happened? Well, it wasn't one single knockout punch. It was really a combination of pressures, both from the inside and the outside. The two world wars basically bankrupted Britain. At the same time, incredibly powerful independence movements, like the one led by Gandhi in India, were gaining steam and couldn't be stopped. And on the world stage, you had the rise of two new superpowers, the USA and the Soviet Union, who were both, for different reasons, against old-school colonialism. The world was changing, and the age of empire was over.
Which brings us to our last and honestly our most difficult section, the legacy. How do we even begin to make sense of something so huge, so influential, and so full of contradictions?
I think this quote just nails it. It perfectly captures that central conflict. The empire created these vast global connections and brought incredible wealth to Britain, but that wealth was very often built on exploiting people and stripping resources. It connected the world in new ways, but it also created deep, painful divisions and conflicts, many of which are still with us.
And you can see these echoes of empire everywhere. So many of the world's modern borders and the conflicts that simmer along them were drawn by British officials a century ago. The City of London is still a powerhouse of global finance, a direct holdover from its imperial past. And so many patterns of migration, cultural mixing, and even the economic inequalities we see between countries, you can trace the roots right back to this period.
So we'll end with a question for you to think about. The next time you look at a world map, or you hear about a conflict on the news, or just think about why English is spoken so widely, remember that you're seeing a world that was fundamentally sculpted by the rise and fall of the British Empire.